So you want to get started, you want to take on that project, you want to take action, make progress, yet you keep feeling stuck, maybe you're held back by fear, feel overwhelmed like it's all too much, and you just can't seem to take the step. Well, often it's not the task itself, it's the way that we're viewing the task that holds us back. And in this video, I'm going to share 5 powerful shifts to help you get started and get into action now. I'm Jon Prince, and I am author of Start Before You're Ready. I'm also a life coach, and over the last 6 years, I've worked with hundreds of people from all around the world to help them shift from fear into freedom by shifting their perspective. So here are 5 keys to get you into action fast. The first is to lower the bar. This can feel like the most counterintuitive thing to do, especially if you are someone who has high standards, you like to produce good quality work, you like to do things well. And then I say, lower the bar and start badly, fail a little bit, make mistakes. It doesn't have to be that good. Feels like the complete opposite of what you'd want to do. And that's why it's exactly where you need to lean in. Because when the bar is too high, guess what happens? You don't start at all. That's what creates so much overwhelm, so much fear, so much stress, is that it's so hard to do when the bar is too high at the beginning that it makes it impossible for you to start. So by lowering the bar and lowering your standards in the beginning of doing a task or a project or getting something done and allowing yourself to make mistakes, dropping that standard down, it gets you into action. And the beautiful thing about this is once you get in there and you get experience and you get working on it, then you can over time raise the bar. You can get better at it, you can improve it, you can perfect it as much as you want over time. But in the beginning, you need to lower the bar to get in there and take action. Key number 2 is to start small. When the task is too big, it's another thing that overwhelms us. It can hold you back, it can create more stress. So if we're lowering the bar so it doesn't have to be as good in the beginning, starting small is just taking the tiniest possible step that you could take. Typically when I'm working with a client and I talk to them about meditation, they get really excited and they want to start with 20 minutes a day every single day. And it's just not realistic. When I say start with 5 minutes a day or even 1 minute a day of meditation, they think this seems too small or that it's not going to make a difference at all. But it's better to start and do 1 minute than not start at all. And once you get going and you get into it, you might want to do more than a minute. You might want to do 5 minutes. But if it's too big from the beginning, you might be able to do it for a little while, but you'll never be able to keep it up. The best thing to do is get in and get going, and you start to build a habit, and then over time you do more of this. Starting small removes the barrier to starting, and that's the most important thing to help you make progress and start to get results. Number 3 is to take on being proactive. Being proactive is so important in starting and getting things done because it's not just an action, it's an identity. If you keep putting off a particular task or especially the same thing and procrastinating on it, what happens is you're showing your brain that it's not safe for you to do the task. You make it unfamiliar and it's like you're moving away from it. So anything that we're moving away from, it's like a snake. You see a snake, you want to move away from it because it's not safe. But if you were to move towards that, it's going to confuse your brain and start to tell you that you can handle it, that it's safe, that you can be okay. So being proactive is about moving towards the task. Now, there might be something that you're putting off or you're not doing and you really want to be doing it. If you actively move yourself towards it, even if you don't feel ready, even if you feel afraid, even if you're not sure, but you move in that direction, you're going to show yourself that it can be safe. You're going to show yourself that you can be proactive, that you can be a person that takes action, and this starts to rewire your identity. So when you are proactive and you're moving towards the task, doing the thing, even though maybe you don't feel like it or there's some resistance, you start to show yourself that that thing is safe. This can be literally going outside of your comfort zone and pushing yourself there. And if you do it enough, you create familiarity around the thing that you want to do. And you also then become a proactive person. And this is a very powerful shift in perspective and self-image that will allow you to get more done and master this art of doing the things that you want to do. Number 4 is to know what you want. If you're indecisive, you don't know what you want to do, then what happens is you're going to stay in the same place. You're not going to take any action. You might have a whole number of tasks that you need to do, and then you're going to put them all off because you don't do any of them. It's like sitting in the car and not putting a direction into the sat nav. You just sit there and you're thinking about where you might want to go, but you don't go anywhere. Knowing what you want is making a decision about what's important to you and what you're going to do, and then you can start to follow it through with action. Now, here's the key, and this is why this point is so important. If you don't know what you want or what you're supposed to be doing, just decide. Because the easiest thing to do is sitting in the car and just staying stuck, but you don't go anywhere. It's better to at least drive somewhere and get to a destination than not move at all. And the same is true in making a decision or taking an action. If you've got the choice between doing nothing or taking the action, take the action. Because similar to being proactive, what this shows you is that you can take the action and be safe. When you don't make a decision or you don't know what you want, what happens is you reinforce the idea that it's safe to not move anywhere. The same way if someone sat in a car and said, well, I didn't crash because I didn't drive anywhere, I stayed safe, and their brain starts to associate safety with not doing anything. So knowing what you want is about making a decision even when you don't know. Just force yourself. Decide anything, and that will move you forward. It will get you good at starting, it will get you good at taking action, and you'll start to make progress and become someone who actually develops the skill of knowing what you want and being decisive too. The 5th and final key to getting started is to get messy. It can be so tempting to want to have all of the steps laid out, to have the entire journey prepared and have it all laid out in order. This is looking for a sense of control, and the more that we try and control life, the less control we feel. You can control some things like making that decision, knowing what you want, having a decision around that, and taking the step. But once you get in there, you need to get messy, because as you take one step, you're going to find out there are things you didn't know already. There are new tasks or new skills you're going to need to learn, and things are going to get uncomfortable. You're going to feel not ready. You're not going to feel confident. You're going to feel unsure. This is what getting messy is. It means diving in and accepting all of it and trialing it out, experimenting, rather than having to take a test that if you fail once, you failed the whole thing and it all has to go perfectly. Getting messy is about getting in there and embracing all of the emotions, all of the thoughts, and taking the steps and being an experimenter and discovering how it goes. The creative process is messy, so start, fail, figure it out, get in there, and what you'll find is you'll build your confidence and you'll build your experience and your skill set as you go and as you get started. Because the truth with all of this is that you don't feel ready and then you start. You start, you take the step, and then you feel ready. So use these 5 keys to help you get into action. Lower the bar. It doesn't have to be great to start. Start small and take the tiny step. Be proactive and show yourself that it's safe to step into the unknown. Know what you want and decide even when you're unsure, and get messy, because you'll find the magic gets created in the mess. If you want to learn more about getting started, check out my book, Start Before You're Ready, or find out more about my coaching by going to my website, theperceptioncoach.com. Thanks for being here, have fun taking action, and as always, big love.